Svaha Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Siddhi Buddhi Prade Devi Bhakti Mukti Pradayani Mantra Murte Mahadevi Mahalakshmi Namostute Narayani Namostute Narayani Namostute
lovely ones, all back home. We will start in 5 minutes from now, so make it yourself comfortable. Grab your mat and your props, make sure that your dog and the glass table is out of the way, and then I'll come back at you in 5 minutes. chanting. I will tell you what mantra we are going to chant. So you can unite your hands together in front of the heart space, and by pressing your hands gently together, see if you can find some more space and openness in your chest and come to sit up. You don't need to sing fully out loud, but you can also keep your chanting a little bit more inwardly. So starting with a gentle exhalation. Breathing deeply in, filling up. Bowing your head towards the heart and offering your practice to someone else to make it an ultimate selfless practice. And if you're done with your dedication, you can raise your hands to the knees and keep your eyes closed. We are going to chant to Krishna, Lord Krishna, and another name for Krishna is Govinda. So we are going to chant Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nata Narayana Vasudeva. So if you don't know it, don't freak out. It's not a problem. You can first listen and then join us if you are ready. Okay, so that was a chant, a mantra to Lord Krishna. And we were chanting that this month because the focus of the month is Krishna, together with the Bhagavad Gita. And the Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful scripture that a lot of yogis know by heart. And the direct translation of the Bhagavad Gita is the song of God. And then you don't need to think about a God, something somewhere external from yourself, but actually it's about a teacher that rests within everyone's heart of all beings on this planet. So in the climax of the story, it's the Prince Arjuna, who is a warrior, who is in kind of a moral and spiritual crisis. He's confused about what to do and take like very daring circumstances. So it's about a battlefield called Kurukshetra, and there are two opposing armies who have gathered after a long struggle between two political dynasties, one good and one evil. Is this a yogic story? Yes, it is. It's interesting because it has a lot of meanings. So on one side of the battlefield, there is Arjuna, and his elder brother and the rightful king. And then there are Arjuna's younger brothers and his fellow warriors, all of noble and good character. And then on the other side of the battlefield, there is his cousins, all considered to be troublemakers. And they are led by Duryodhana, the evil son of the blind and the weak king, who is the usurper of the kingdom. So Arjuna's crisis is that although he understands the events leading up to the battlefield, and he feels in deep alignment with the warriors on the other side, upon looking across the field of the faces of his opponents, he sees many faces of his cousins and friends and teachers, and suddenly he is overwhelmed and immobilized by the conflict, knowing that whatever actions he takes, people he cares deeply about will be harmed. So neither of the sides is totally bad, nor is either side totally good. So Arjuna becomes caught in a dilemma in which he needs to understand that no matter what action he takes, the consequences of his actions and the problems that might arise as a result are bound to be horrible. Perhaps no more difficult a situation could have been presented to Arjuna. So maybe you can also think of your own crisis, maybe currently in your own life, or something that happened in the past, and you can maybe imagine what a difficult situation it has been for Arjuna. So the root of the crisis is that Arjuna is a very good person with a very sweet and open heart. He's kind and compassionate and extremely honest. He finds himself in a truly human situation in which he feels his own conflict and sense of anguishes, but he also perceives the incredible amount of suffering that is going on around him. So Arjuna realizes that all of the formulas and religious system that he has studied and immersed himself in, all of his theories and techniques will not salvage him from this situation, and that no matter what he does, his actions or non-actions will result in many deaths and the possible destruction of the culture he truly loves. Well, that sounds really horrible, right? So I will continue to read a little bit further from this story. It's like a little bit of a cliffhanger, but we have said long enough, so we are going to move. Don't worry. And then I'm going to tell you what's actually the deep message in this beautiful story. So let me first put on some music. And then slowly you can start to open your eyes if they weren't open yet. So hello, my name is Marika, and And usually this class is taught by Barbara, but she is in Portugal at the moment for 2 weeks. So she asked me if I wanted to replace her, and I'm happy to guide you through the practice. So you can shake out your legs to the front and remove the prop away from underneath your sitting bones. And then maybe massaging your knees. And let's come to stand at the stand at the front of the mat. With the big toes together. And first we are coming to the first standing position that almost every yoga class starts with. So we unite the big toes and we really ground ourselves down into the floor. And the heels are nicely aligned, so really find a grounding seating posture. And you want to bring your pubic bone a little bit more forward. So you engage your legs and you lengthen through the spine all the way up. Most important thing with yoga is that we breathe, and that we breathe consciously. So we first start to breathe a little bit deeper, and from there we start to move a little bit further and deeper into the posture. So unite your hands together in front of the heart space, and let's exhale here together. So taking a huge and deep breath in, and on your inhale, take the whole inhale to lift the arms up, stretch a little bit higher, and exhale, bring your hands together in front of the heart. Alright, let's first see if we can also engage in Ujjayi breath. So placing your left hand on your breastbone, your right hand on your belly, and exhaling first. Taking a deep and huge breath in, feel that your ribcage starts to expand. And on the exhale, open the mouth, releasing the air through the mouth. Like you're fogging up a mirror. Breathing deeply in. And again, exhale through the mouth. Breathing deeply in, really expanding the ribcage. The next time you keep your lips closed, but make the same sound in the back of the throat. So you really want to make your breath audible, so your neighbors can hear your breath. Don't be shy. It's really important that we make the breath audible, so it's like music for a soul. So keep on breathing like this. You can create the same sound also on the inhale. And there is a steady pace of an inhale and an exhale. So now you can again unite your hands together in front of the heart space. And let's exhale first. On the next inhale, lifting the arms up high, opening up, expanding the chest. And exhale, now taking the whole exhale to bring the arms down. Breathing deeply in, lifting the arms up high. And now on the exhale, we're going to make the exhale a little bit bigger and the movement bigger. So moving forwards over the feet, over the legs. And now from here, on the inhale, we start lifting up the chest, rising up again. Reaching a little bit higher. And exhale, bringing the hands together in front of the heart space. Breathing deeply in, lifting up. And again, on the exhale, folding forwards. Now, on the inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, bend the knees and stepping the right foot back. And stepping the left foot back. Come to a downward facing dog. Breathing deeply in. And breathing deeply out. So you want to really want to spread your fingers wide and bring the roots of your fingers a little bit more into the floor, especially the space between the index finger and the thumb. Really try to root it down. The feet are hip width apart. And for now, maybe you want to bend your knees a little bit. Maybe alternating a little bit by stretching one leg and bending the other. Moving on the breath, so still you want to listen to your own breath. You want to move. So let's take one more exhale together. Taking a deep breath in, and at the same time find length in the spine. And out. Slowly you want to walk your feet forwards towards the hands. Taking small steps. Maybe you need to bend your knees. Come to stand with your big toes together and resting forwards over the legs, letting your head hang. Feel the feet standing on the floor, and from there on, inhale, take a huge breath in and lifting up stretching a little bit higher. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart space. Breathing deeply in, lifting your arms up high, opening your chest, reaching higher. And then exhale, fold forwards. On the inhale, lift your chest, open your heart forwards. And then bending your knees, stepping your right foot back. Stepping the left foot back, come to a downward facing dog. Taking a deep breath in and taking a deep breath out. Breathing in and out. Try to bring your shoulders away from the ears so there's more space in your shoulders. And you want to bring your shoulder blades a little bit more together on the back. Moving your heels in the direction of the floor. Breathing slowly in and slowly out. On the inhale, lifting your right foot up now. And step it forward in between the hands. And pressing your left heel back. Make sure that your front leg is in a 90-degree angle so the knee doesn't come over the ankle. So you need more space probably between the 2 feet. And then bringing your hands towards the front knee. So first lift yourself up. The strength really comes from the lower belly. So on the inhale you open your chest, lifting the arms. And on the exhale you sink a little bit deeper in that front leg. Check your knee if it's really above the right ankle. And the front thigh is parallel to the floor. The back leg is completely straight. Breathing deeply in, reaching a little bit higher through the fingertips. And exhale, sinking deeper in that front leg. Now take one more breath. And out. On the inhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Come to a high plank. And from the high plank, lower the body very slowly to the floor. Pointing the toes, feet are hip width apart. And on the inhale, lift your chest up. Elbows into the ribs. Exhale, come back to the floor. Curl the toes under. And first bring your seat back to the heels. And from there, straighten the legs. Come to a downward facing dog. Taking one deep breath in, finding the length in the spine, and out. On the inhale now, left foot up, step it forwards in between the hands, and already start pressing this right heel back. On the inhale, first hands towards the knee, finding a steady base, and on the next inhale, you lift your arms up and reach a little bit higher, expanding your chest. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper in your front leg. Breathing deeply in and breathing deeply out. Your feet are hip width apart so that you have a little bit more stability. Yes. And the heel is up. So not on the floor. Lift your back foot up. So it's not on the floor. Like that. Yes. Alright, on the next inhale, bring your hands back to the floor. Come to a high plank. And from the high plank, on the exhale, lower yourself all the way to the floor. Point the toes, and on the inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, come back down. Curl the toes under. First, bring the seat back to the heels. And then we are going to straighten the legs. Come to a full downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So again, really check where your hands are right now. Maybe have a little look at your hands. Are they equally down on the floor? So we really try to balance everything in our system with yoga. So if one arm is a little bit more forwards than the other, we start to disbalance the whole system. Root, like really bring the roots of the fingers into the floor. And try to bring the shoulders away from the ears. Taking one more breath. And exhale, bend the knees, look forwards, and jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, you lift the chest up, and on the exhale, falling forward over the legs. Feel the feet standing on the earth, and from there, start lifting up, looking up towards your hands. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Second round, on the inhale, lifting your arms up high, open your chest. And now exhale, diving forwards. On the inhale, high on the fingertips, chest forwards and open. bending the knees. This time the left foot steps back and the right foot steps back, downward facing dog. Taking one breath and out. And on the inhale, lifting the left foot up, no, the right foot, I'm sorry, and step it forward in between your hands. The left hand stays on the floor, and then on the next inhale, we are going to lift the right arm up. Bring the two arms in one straight line. Open the chest a little bit more, look up to your right hand. Breathing deeply in and out. Breathing deeply in and breathing deeply out. Taking one more breath. Try to bring your shoulders more in one line. And exhale. On the inhale, bring your hand back to the floor. Stepping gently back, downward facing dog. Taking one breath in between. And out. On the next inhale, lifting the left foot up. Step it forwards between the hands. Maybe with a little help of your hands. And then the right hand stays on the floor. And on the inhale, you're going to lift the left arm up. So in this posture, we really want to work on bring the shoulders in one line. Bring the clavicles in one line. So the sleutelbenen. And reaching a little bit higher with your left arm. Reaching up through the fingertips. So really elongate the line from all the way from the floor all the way to the ceiling. Take one more breath. And out. On the inhale, hands back to the floor, come to a high plank. And stay there for one more breath in the high plank. And then on the exhale, lower the whole body slowly down to the floor in one straight line. Pointed toes, and on the inhale, lift your chest up. Don't come up so high yet, we are still warming up the body. So keep your arms slightly bent. And exhale, come back to the floor, curl the toes under, bring the seat back to the heels. And then straighten the legs, come to a downward facing dog. And here we are going to stay for 5 more breaths. Taking a deep breath in and out. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Breathing in and out. Taking one final breath in this down dog. And exhale, and on the end of the exhale, bend your knees, look forwards in between your hands, and then jump the feet forwards. On the inhale, lift your chest, and on the exhale, folding forwards over the legs. Feel the feet standing on the floor. From there, on the inhale, rise up with your arms, open your chest, and press the palms together above the hands. Exhale, hands together in front of the chest. Close your eyes, take 1 or 2 breaths in. So ready, sink into your heart. Open your eyes, and then let's go for the 3rd round. On the inhale, open your chest, look up towards your hands, stretch a little bit higher, and now exhale from the hips, start folding forwards. On the inhale, high on the fingertips, chest forwards, bending the knees, stepping gently back, downward facing dog. On the inhale now, shoulders forwards to a high plank, and we are going to bring the right hand in the middle of the chest. Roll to the outside of the right foot, flex both feet, and stack the left foot on top of the right foot. And then we are going to lift the left arm in one line with the right arm. Pressing the pubic bone forward so the whole body is in one line. You might even want to look up to that left hand. Breathing gently in, don't freak out. It's all fine. You can also bring your upper leg on the floor if it's too heavy. Taking one more breath. Lift your hips a little bit higher. And exhale. Bring both hands back to the floor, meeting in a downward facing dog. Take one breath between, finding a smooth breath. And out. On the inhale, shoulders forwards to a high plank. Left hand now in the middle of your chest. Roll to the outside of the left foot. Stack your right foot on top of it. And then come sidewards plank, Vashisthasana. And we also look, if you can, with your eyes up to your right hand. Breathing in, be firm in your belly muscles. Open your chest a little bit more. And try to pull your toes towards you. So many details to pay attention to. It's all distracting you from your busy mind. So let's move back to a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, bring your knees to the width of the mat. Big toes together. And come to resting quiet child's pose. So allowing the breath to come back to its natural state. Making your belly super soft. Let it melt in between your two thighs. Allow yourself to be carried by the earth. Really take a rest. How often does it happen that we actually take a good rest? And then I don't mean, like a good night of sleep, but in between activities, like letting the activity sink in and using it as a tool for transformation to the next activity. So we get more quality, a better life quality, because we absorb how we feel. We start to, like everything to melt into how we are doing. Taking this time to check in with ourselves. It's a little ritual. Alright. So on the next inhale, slowly come to roll up. Rolling your spine slowly up, bringing your head up last. Moving slowly. You don't need to rush for me. You don't need to rush for anyone else in this room. You're here only for yourself. So meeting in a downward facing dog. Stretching the legs, stretching the arms. And bring your shoulders a little bit away from the ears. Making sure that the feet are hip width apart. That probably means that we all need to step the feet a little bit wider. And try to focus on the length we find in the spine. So try to reach your sitting bones a little bit more up, and by doing so we find more space in the spine. Alright, it also helps if you ground your hands a little bit more down and try to push the floor away from underneath the hands, especially with the roots of the fingers and the space between the index finger and the thumb. Taking one more breath. And out. And then start walking the hands back towards the feet. Bend your knees slowly so you can place your belly on your thighs. And then start interlacing the fingers behind you. And already start to bring your hands in the direction of the floor ahead of you. And also look a little bit ahead of you. Take a deep and huge breath in. And on the exhale, you want to find more length in your arms and fold forwards. Open your shoulders slowly. And really see if you can work on those legs to straighten them a little bit more. Challenge yourself a little bit so you find a good stretch in your hamstrings. But don't just hang in there. Make sure that you engage also the back of the legs a little bit to prevent the body from having injuries. Letting the head hang, so you don't need to press your head in the direction of the legs, but just move your head maybe a little bit from left to right to check if your neck is relaxed, released. And then slowly letting go of your hands, bending your knees deeply so again the belly comes to the thighs. And then shake your head from left to right again. The hands are resting now on the floor. And feel the feet really standing on the floor. And from there, slowly on the next inhale, we're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra. And we come to stand with a head up last. Giving your shoulders a good roll to the front. Maybe 2 or 3 times. And also to the back. I always start it differently than what I actually do. So let me move in 2 directions. Alright. So let's come to stand with the feet wide with your face in this direction. And we want to come to stand with the feet wide so there is one leg length between the feet. And the toes are coming a little bit in. The outer feet are rooting down into the floor. And we want to bring the hands towards the belly. So we pull the skin a little bit backwards and the thumbs are coming in the crease of our hips. And from there we start activating a very important muscle, which is the muscle that connects the upper body to the lower body, which is called the psoas. We want to use that when we come forwards. So pull the skin backwards. And on the inhale, look to your nose. On the exhale, come halfway forwards. So first on the inhale, elongate the spine forwards, reaching forwards to the crown of the head. And then place your left hand in the middle of your chest. Place your right hand on your sacrum. And on the inhale again, we want to elongate the spine. And on the exhale, we twist and turn to the right side, still with the hand on the sacrum. To check if the hips are still balanced. And if that's the case, then maybe on the next inhale, you want to lift up your right hand and bring your arms in one line. Open the chest to the right side and look towards the right hand. Really try to bring your shoulders more in one line. Bring the knuckles in one line. At the same time, support your legs. Make sure they're still engaged. And then on the exhale, bring your right hand down. And on the other side. Set the right hand in the middle of the chest, left hand on the sacrum. Inhale, elongate the spine forward. On the exhale, you twist and turn from the navel center to the left side. And the inhale, you lift the arm up. And see if you can bring your shoulders in one line. Keeping with the left eye to the left hand. And you want to have the sensation you're reaching up. And at the same time, you're reaching down to the right hand. Don't lean too much on that right hand. So there is equal force that pulls you up and ground you down. Take one more breath in. And a gentle breath out. Bring your hands back towards the center. Now both hands are still on the inhale. Slightly ahead. And on the exhale, you walk hands up to the knee. 90 degree angles maybe with your arm in your chest. And slightly towards your chin just slightly in towards your chest. So your neck is in one line with the rest of your spine. Both legs are super engaged and super stretched. And you go a little bit more forward from the hips, not from the upper part of the back. Using the breath, I want to hear you breathing, guys. Please make sure that you hear yourself breathing. Using your mind. Step into the body sensation of your breath. Step out of the mind. Using yourself. Breath. Taking one final breath in this posture. And exhale. On the inhale, a little bit up. Again, place your hands on your hips, fingers towards the midline. Pull the skin a little bit backwards to engage your psoas. And straighten and engage the legs on the inhale. Come all the way up. Well, that's it. Not for the whole support, but this posture. So maybe jump or step the feet together. Shake out the legs. And let's come and stand in front of the mat again. We all have a block. Yes, that's for you. So you find a block. I hope everyone at home also has a block, maybe you can use a big hook. Yes, here. So place it on the outside of your right foot. On the short side, like this. And then step your left foot back about 1 meter. And make sure that your heels are nicely in one line. And then you want to square off the hips to the front. Take a big step, and the back foot is pointing towards 10 o'clock. More or less. Yeah? Alright, both legs are straight. On the inhale first, you stretch out the left arm. The left arm that comes up, yes. And the right hand is in the right hip, and it pulls the right hip back and down. Inhale, a little bit towards your nose, like a real aristocrat. And on the exhale, you come halfway forwards. Your hips are level now. On the inhale, reach a little bit more forwards. And on the exhale, you place your left hand on the block next to your right foot. And you twist and turn a little bit more open to the right side with your chest. If you can, and if it's possible, you can start to lift your right arm up. Also in this posture, you want to bring your arms to one line. So at least make sure that you're bringing your left shoulder away from your left ear. Bring the left ear a little bit up towards the ear. Taking one more breath. And exhale, look down. And already start to place a block on the other side of the foot. And then on the inhale, you windmill your arms up. Chest, bending the front leg, and step your left foot next to your right foot. Come to the other side. So step your right foot back about 1 meter. Again, make sure that the heels are nicely aligned. There is one leg length between the feet. And then pull your left hip back and down now, so you square your hips to the front. On the inhale, you lift the arm up. On the exhale, you come forwards. Pull your left hip back. Down, so the hips are level. One more inhale, reach a little bit more forward, just lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, you twist and turn to the left side, placing your right hand on the block. Lifting the left arm all the way up, if you can. And try to bring your shoulders in one line. So you can bring your right hands a little bit more down towards the floor. That really helps to make the twist. So really press that hand into the block. And give yourself a little bit more space between the feet, because it's so difficult, because you have almost no distance between the two feet. Ja, maar dat helpt dan juist. Yes. Alright, look down. And then on the inhale, windmill your arms up again. Bring your hands to the front, to the heart, and step your right foot forwards. And a block to the sides. It was kind of challenging, right? It's a difficult posture, I know. But it's really good because it helps you with twisting postures in the later advanced exercises. So bring your hands together to the heart and exhale together. On the inhale, lifting up your arms, stretch a little bit higher. On the exhale, open legs. Inhale, up, open the heart space. Exhale, bend the knees and stepping gently back to downward facing dog. Feet are hip width apart. Take a big breath in and out. On the inhale, lift your right foot up. And now step forward in between your hands. And the left heel turns down. Feel the feet standing steadily on the floor. And from there on the inhale, taking the whole and lift the arms up. Place the palms together above the head. So on the inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, come a little bit deeper in your front leg. So your front thigh is almost parallel or is parallel to the floor. And the right knee is really above that right ankle. Spinning the whole chest forwards. And exhale. Breath in, empty space. You might check your back arm to see if it's in one line with the front, and then gaze gently back over the front. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing gently in and out. Arms in one beautiful line. Taking one more breath in and out. On the next inhale, bring your hands to the floor, stepping back down, facing dog. Take one breath in between and exhale. Now on the inhale, left foot up, stepping forward, between your hands. Right foot comes down. And on the inhale, lifting up, warrior one. So lifting your arms up on the inhale, pressing your hands gently together. By pressing your arms together, you start engaging your full arms. So pressing your full palms together really helps. Breathing in and breathing out. And out. One more breath in. Now we open up warrior two. So check your front foot. Is it really underneath that left knee? Otherwise, adjust your front foot. Breathing in. And also make sure that your upper body is really in the middle of your two legs. You're not hanging to the front, you're not hanging in the back. You really find yourself in the middle of your two legs. Taking one final breath here. And exhale. On the inhale, bring your hands to the floor. Come to a high plank this time. And on the exhale, we are going to bend the elbows. Come to a low plank chaturanga. On the inhale, we're going to roll over the 10 toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, now rolling gently back, downward facing dog. Taking 5 breaths. Breathing in and out. Breathing gently in and out. Breathing in. Every your breath. Taking the last breath here. And on the exhale, bend your knees a little bit, look forward. And jump forwards. On the inhale, lift your chest. Now with 2 straight legs, go forwards. And there on the inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Jump a little bit higher. And exhale. Exhale into the heart space. Inhaling. On the exhale, diving forwards. On the inhale, lifting your chest up, looking up, bending the knees, and stepping back to the downward facing dog. Taking one breath in Adho Mukha Svanasana and out. On the inhale, lifting the right foot up, now stepping forwards between the hands, left foot turns to the floor, and from a fairly steady base, lift up, taking the whole inhale, lift the arms up, and staying there for one breath. Big breath in. And on the exhale now, open up, warrior two. And staying there for one breath. And out. On the next inhale, stepping straight to the front leg. And now start lifting up both kneecaps to engage your quadriceps. Then, inhale, now reach forwards as far as you can. Bring your right hand to the chin or ankle. Or maybe on the block next to your right foot. Maybe even the fingers on the floor. On the inhale, you start reaching up with the left arm. You press the pubic bone simply slightly forwards. And you want to work on opening both sides of your upper body. So try to close this part of your body a little bit more because you're pulling too much. You're compressing too much there. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Breathing gently in towards your chest. And exhale, now look down. 2 straight legs, 2 steady feet on the floor. On the inhale, you come up. And on the exhale, you come forwards with your front leg bent. On the inhale, bring your hands back to the floor. Step back to the downward facing dog. Breathing gently there, and your left hand down. Lifting the right and bringing your arm line. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing gently in. You can bring your eyes towards your upper head. So you bring your hand also in one line with the rest of your spine. Try to lengthen it a little bit up in this direction. Yes, beautiful. Taking one final breath. And on the exhale, you look down. Next inhale, we are coming up. And exhale, back to the mountain. On the inhale, come to a high plank. On the exhale, bending the elbows, come to a low plank. Come down, pressing your heels backwards. And on the inhale, now rolling forwards over the toes. Open up upward facing dog. On the exhale, like a wave, moving back to a downward facing dog. Breathing gently in and gently out. Staying here for 5 breaths. Make sure to spread your fingers. Yes, beautiful. Nice Ujjayi breath, Jason. Final breath in this Adho Mukha Svanasana. And on the exhale, bend your knees, look forwards, and then jump the feet gently forwards. On the inhale, lift your chest, and on the exhale, folding forward over 2 straight legs. From the 2 feet on the inhale, rising up, open your chest like you're offering your heart to the sun. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart space. Last round for the standing postures. Are you still okay? Reaching up and now folding forwards. On the inhale, lifting your chest up, bending the knees, and stepping back to a downward facing dog. Take one breath in the down dog. And exhale. On the inhale, lift your right foot up. Now step it forwards in between your hands. Left heel turns to the floor. Place your block on the inside of the foot. And place your right hands on top of it. So here you want to check that your front leg is in a 90-degree angle. And you press the elbow to the inside of the right knee. And you are going to bring your left heel a little bit further away than your left toes. So you really give length to your legs, but also you lower your hips a little bit. So first, on the inhale, you lift up your left hand. So both arms are in a beautiful line. And you can stay here. It's already a beautiful posture. But you can also bring your arm over the face and look underneath the armpit to the sky. Finding a stretch from the whole left side of the body. From the outside of the left foot all the way to the left middle finger. Turning the left side of the chest a little bit more open to the sky. Breathing deeply in. And exhale, pulling the belly button in and up towards the spine. Breathing in. And breathing out. Okay, beautiful. So now let's bring the block to the side. Frame your front foot with both hands and then gently stepping back to a downward facing dog. Taking a breath in between. And out. On the inhale, left foot up. Step it forwards. Right heel turns to the floor. Block on the inside of the foot. Place your left hand on top of the block. And again, create stability by pressing this elbow to the inside of the left knee. And then bring your right heel a little bit further away than your right toes. So there's already a lot of length in the setup. And then on the inhale, you start lifting your right arm up. First, reach a little bit higher. And with a lot of length in your arms, maybe bring the arm over your face into the room. And keep a gentle breath in and out. Finding that stretch on the whole right side of the body. Turning the right side of the chest a little bit more up. Jason, pubic bone a little bit more forwards. Beautiful. Taking one final breath. And exhale. Now look down. Frame your front foot. And now listen to your own body. So think of moving through the Vinyasa. Or if your breath doesn't allow, simply go back to a downward facing dog. So yoga is really about starting to listen within what you need right now. Instead of moving mechanically through the postures, you want to create this intimate relationship with yourself. So finding the beautiful connection of the breath and the body movement. Taking a deep breath in. So taking a good rest, tapping into your own breath and simply allow it to happen all by itself. You don't need to do anything right now. Simply allow the whole body to melt into the floor. Feeling where the forehead rests on the floor, and see if where the body touches, like the forehead touches the floor, like you can spread the whole forehead a little bit deeper beyond the surface of the floor. Slowly, slowly come to roll up, moving like a very lazy person, so don't move too quick. Vertebra by vertebra, and bring your head up last. Great. Yes, let's move the feet towards the sides and straighten the legs out to the front. Massage the knees. We are not going too deep into the forward bends because we have another focus this week. We're focusing on twisting and a little bit of back bends. So you might want to keep your legs a little bit bent because we want to really make sure that we hinge forwards from the hips. So we're not struggling by bending the upper back. We really try to fold from the hips. And if it's then easier to keep the knees just slightly bent, then be my guest, yeah? If you are, warm enough, and if you're like pretty supple, then you can also just straighten the legs. All right, first on the inhale, reaching up. So we first create length in the spine and openness in the front. And with that length and with that openness, we come forwards. Maybe you want to hold the outside of the feet and pull the outside of the feet towards you with your 4 fingers, and with your big thumb you press the big toe away. So there's like an internal rotation happening in the leg. So you press the big toe away, you pull the toes towards you. Yes. And then you feel that the belly is connected to the thighs. You really have the sensation that you're pulling from the hips, letting the head rest, and finding relaxation. You want to close your eyes, turning the attention more inside. For me, it always works if I think of lengthening on the inhale of my spine, and then on the exhale I come a little bit more forwards from that length. towards the ceiling. Us, fingers are pointing forwards, and we are going to set up for a tabletop. So we already start to open the chest, and then we bring the tailbone towards the heels, and we lift the hips all the way up. We ground the feet and we ground the hands. Lift a little bit higher without blowing the belly out, and then bring the gaze back. Fully into your chest. And out. Breathing fully into your chest. Allow the hips to sink to the floor. Great. So now we straighten the legs. Oh no, we keep the right leg bent. And you want to place one hand between the right foot and the left leg. Make sure that the feet and the leg are in the right distance away from each other. Then we bring the right hand behind us. We flex this left foot. Toes are being pulled up towards the sky. And first, reach up with that left hand. So on every twist, we first want to lengthen through the spine. And from that central axis, on the exhale, we twist and turn to the right side. So the twisting happens in the navel area. So on the inhale, on every inhale and twist, you can think of lengthening in the spine. And on the exhale, twist and turn a little bit further into the posture. You might want to look over your right shoulder. Think of lengthening and exhaling a little bit more. There is one hand distance between the foot and the leg, and then bring the left hand behind you. Press yourself to the front of your sitting bone so you're not hanging in your lower back. You first want to create space in your lower back, otherwise you can cause yourself a hernia. Up, and on the exhale, you twist and turn to the left side, hug your knee into your chest. Both sitting bones are firmly down to the floor. And just keep to your right foot. You see if the toes are really pointing up to the sky. Lift all the way to the right foot. No? Okay, thank you. Just turn a little bit further to your left side. Breathing in. And breathing out. Taking one more breath in. Cross the legs and then step back to a downward facing dog. Breathing in and breathing out. So let's come to hands and knees. And this is a good start for a downward facing dog. But you really want to check if your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And spreading the fingers really wide so you have a steady base and the knees are right underneath the hips. Through the legs, you don't want to be able to see the feet. So first, lifting the right leg up, keep it bent, and then on the inhale, exhale, you bring the knee into your chest. Inhale, lifting the right leg up towards your chest, and on the exhale, bring the knee in. One more inhale, towards out. Exhale. Reaching forward with the left arm. First, make some length. And then bring the hand back, putting it inside of the these days, spreading the fingers wide. Take 1 or 2 breaths in between and come to the other side. So on the inhale, we lift the left leg up, flex the foot. On the exhale, we bring the knee to the chest, round the back. Inhale. Back up, stretching your right arm forwards, moving on your breath. Slowly bring it back, holding inside of the left leg. Flex this foot, and gently pull yourself a little bit more open, over the right shoulder. And make sure that your hips stay a little bit in the middle and don't out this side. Back to the first position. Oh, this is so good because now you can stretch out in downward facing dog. And it's so easy compared to this previous posture. Just stretching the 2 legs out, bring the shoulders away from the ear. If you like, you can move through the vinyasa. So to a high plank. Next, so bend the elbows to the low plank to the down. Inhale now, roll over the toes. Dog. And exhale, rolling back, downward facing dog. 2 straight legs, feet are hip width apart. And taking 1 more breath, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And out. On the inhale, now move forwards to a high plank. And on the exhale, we are moving very, very slowly towards the floor. We're going to the big toes, nice and together. Bring your arms alongside the body and the forehead is coming to the floor. So see if you can already start to move your shoulders away from the ears, gluing your hands to the thighs. Take a deep breath in to find further length in your spine. And on the exhale, start lifting your chest up, looking towards your nose. Lifting the chest a little bit higher, pressing the feet into the floor. So first make sure that the upper body lifts up. And if you have a little bit more juice, start lifting the legs up from the floor too. The big toes are together, but the toes are spread from the just below your navel center. You stretch the legs back. Try to straighten the legs up to your maximum. 1 more breath. On the right, here comes down, take rest. Allow the nipples to roll towards the sides. So by breathing now into the floor, you give yourself a gentle massage into the belly. Lengthen your lower back. Don't wait too long for the next posture, otherwise we become too lazy. So forehead to the floor and the big toes are together. Now we start to interlace the fingers behind the back. And by doing so, we can already roll the shoulder blades a little bit more together, and there is more openness in the chest happening. So take a full and deep breath in on the inhale, and on the exhale, lift the legs and the chest away from the floor. Big toes are together, and see if you can keep your legs straight. So think of this like center just below your navel. And from there, you want to lift and straighten the legs. It's very good for your shoulders, very good to strengthen your core muscles. So lift a little bit higher. And on the exhale, bring your left ear down, release your hands, take rest. So we come a little bit deeper now in the back bends. We bring the forehead to the floor and we start bending the legs, flexing the feet. And while the forehead stays on the floor, we start grabbing the outside of the ankles. And we want to lengthen the end of the spine, the tailbone, towards the knee. So there's a lot of length happening in our lower back. Take a full and deep breath in. And on the exhale, you gently start to pull yourself away from the floor and bring your toes in the direction of the floor behind you. So fully open your chest to the front and up. And bring your gaze softly to the front. Breathing in and breathing out. Move your toes out to the sides. Try to keep them in. Yes. Breathing in and exhale. Gently letting go. Bring the right ear to the floor. Letting go of the ankles. Straightening the legs. Shift your hips from left to right.
Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Rashama. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Pahimam. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara.
Okay, let's decide. We're going to do it one more time, right, Jason? Great. Okay, so bring the forehead to the floor, flex the feet, bend the legs, and hold the outside of the feet. So the knees are coming hip width apart, more or less, not further out to the sides. And then take a full and deep breath into the chest. And then on the exhale, pull yourself up to a vocal mesh. This is called in Dutch. It's so cute. But in Sanskrit, it's called yogaclass. Focus here. Take 5 breaths if you have a Okay, after the 5th breath, let go. And come to rest with your left ear on the floor. And bring your feet a little bit wider than the hips, resting the ankles out to the side so you release your lower back. And shake your hips from left to right.
Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Pahimam. Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara, Chandrasekhara Rashama.
We are going to come up in Oortgadangdasana. So come a little bit closer so you can have a look first to see what we are going to do. Yeah, you can come a little bit closer so you can really see. Okay, so first we are going to measure the right distance from the feet with our fingertips. We can touch the heels. Those are pointing a little bit in to prevent the knees to come out. And then first I want to lengthen my tailbone towards my knees. So I lift up my hips and I roll my chest a little bit more up towards my chin. Then I roll the shoulders up. First have a look there so you can really see what I'm doing, okay? And then roll the shoulders a little bit more under. Interlace the fingers behind the back. And I use my thigh strength to come a little bit higher in my hips. So my legs are pretty fired, like they're really fiery right now. They're super engaged. So I can stay here, chill a little bit out here, but I can also take it to the next step. So I bring my hands next to the ears, take a full and deep breath in, and on the exhale I bring my crown of the head to the floor. So I see a lot of people in the room that are always moving the elbows out to the side. You really want to bring that to the shoulders, like shoulder width. Take a breath in, and on the exhale, you want to straighten the arms. So here we are going to take 5 breaths. So really work on straightening the arms, work on the shoulder opening. And after the 5th breath, look up to the ceiling, bending the arms, and then gently rolling the spine back to the floor on the exhale. And on the inhale, you rest the sacrum on the floor. All right. Now it's your turn. So come and lay on the floor. Check if you can touch your heels with your fingertips. Turning the toes a little bit in. And then think of reaching the end of your spine toward your knees. Lift your hips up. Bring your chest a little bit more in the direction of your chin. Honey, first bring your shoulders more under. So, rolling the shoulder blades under, interlacing the fingers behind the back, and really use the power of the legs to lift yourself a little bit higher. You really are going to need that leg strength. Staying here for 3 or 4 breaths. Bring your sternum, the breastbone towards your chin. You can stay here or take it to the next step by bringing your hands next to the ears. And bring your full hand palms on the floor. First, bring your elbows in, shoulder width apart. And take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you bring the crown of the head onto the floor. Again, bring the shoulders, the elbows in, shoulder width apart. Take a full and deep breath in, and on the exhale, you are going to straighten the arms. Keeping both feet steadily on the floor. Make sure that the toes are pointing in. Yes, straighten the arms, open the shoulders a little bit more. Roll the shoulder blades a little bit more together on the back and letting the head hang. Maybe shaking the head from left to right. Yeah, you need a lot of length. Yeah. And after 5 breaths, look up to the ceiling. And slowly bring the whole spine back to the floor. And with a lot of awareness, bring the sacrum on the inhale on the floor. Beautiful. And then slowly start to bring your knees into your chest, rounding your spine just a little bit, but allow the posture to settle in first. So keeping your arms straight. And then bring your knees fully into the chest. Now rounding the spine completely. Close the eyes and drawing some small circles on the sacrum. Shake the legs out to the sky. Take a big breath in. Open the mouth, releasing the air through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. And then bending both legs, wrapping the right leg around the left leg. You really need to bend your legs for that, so you can hook your foot behind the calf muscle. And then bring your left foot to the floor in one line with your spine. And for that you need to lift your hips a little bit up, place them to the right. Then bring your knees to the left side. Bring your right arm out to the right. And ultimately you want to bring and your right shoulder to the floor and your knees to the floor. But for a lot of us that's really impossible. So sweetheart, it's the other way around. You need to grab your other leg over your right leg over the left leg. Yes. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze. Taking one inhale, and on the exhale, feeling that you engage your lower belly, and from there bring your legs back to the center. Shake your legs out to the sky. hips, place them a little bit to the left so your whole body is nicely aligned. Knees come to the right and the left arm comes out to the side. Look over your left arm to your left hand. And finding a lot of space in your lower back especially. It's good to stretch in this way after the back bends we did. If you cannot hook your foot behind the left calf, also keep your knees together in a 90-degree angle. Also keep your knees in a 90-degree angle and then bring them to the side like this. Yeah, so hip height. Yes. And bring your arm out to the side. Taking one final breath in this twist, engaging your lower belly muscles. And then bring your legs back to the center. And let's roll to the right sides. We are coming for an inversion. Today that's gonna be headstand. So if you are capable of doing the headstand in the middle of the room, be my guest. If you want to use a wall, that's also fine to me. At home, make sure that you have enough space so you don't like break your neck over something, a chair or whatever is in your way. If you need some instructions here in the room, please let me know. Yeah. And if you are in your moon days, you want to come and lay down on your back with the soles of the feet together and take a rest. Heb je dit al eens eerder gedaan? body to sink a little bit deeper into the earth. So really feel that you're being carried by the earth. There's a nurturing power there happening, taking care of you. And after the 3 big breaths, just allow the breath to happen all by itself. Doing, thinking towards being and feeling. Also points out to you as a reader or as a listener, and points out that there is a parallel between you and Arjuna. What happens on this cruel battlefield is that Krishna informs Arjuna that he is lost in a world of name and form, and that his body is merely a very brief phenomenon where only change happens. Response of Arjuna is confronting with the temporary nature of all things, and that's immense depression and fear. Just as he realizes that he is already in the process of dying, you as an intelligent leader also recognizes the nature of the impermanence. Everything within and without is impermanent. So we don't need to cling on to each and everything around us. Exploring the deep relaxation in the Shavasana. Also, this posture is impermanent. It comes and goes. So let's not cling to this feeling, which might feel so good. Slowly start to breathe a little bit deeper. moving the toes and the fingers. If you like, you can straighten the legs and stretch the arms over the head, taking a deep breath in. And if you feel ready, you can draw your knees into your chest and rounding the back, and slowly move towards the right side. And from there, press yourself gently up to come and sit. Just like a start of class, and we're finishing the class by chanting 3 times Om again. So finding a comfortable seat, preferably with your hips a little bit higher, dropping the knees towards the floor. Closing the eyes, uniting the hands together in front of the heart. Let's start with an exhalation first. Breathing deeply in, filling up. If you like, and open your eyes. Bowing down to your teacher. There's no teacher outside of yourself, only within. Thanks everyone for being here tonight and giving it a good go. I hope it felt good for you. If you have some comments or questions, you can always come to me after class. And yeah, be well. I wish you a very beautiful evening and hope to see you around. Thank you. Thank you.
Namami Shamishan Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahmaveda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalapam Niriham Chitakasham Akasha Vasam Bhajeham Nirakara Mokara Mulam Turiham Kiragyana Goti Misham Girisham Karalam Mahakala Kalam Kripalam Gunagara Samsa Param Natoham Shambho Sharadri Sankash Gauram Gabiram Manobhuta Kote Prabashi Shairam Sforanmoli Kalolini Charu Ganga Lasadma